Well, hi guys, and welcome back. So again, I'm using this Hemlock and Oak weekly planner. I absolutely love it, and it has this wonderful introduction area in the front, and I just love it. It's perfect for my budgeting needs, and these are all of the goals and the habits that we have set for quarter one. As you can see, the debt payoff is actually, going ahead of schedule. I do use the year at a glance to keep track of important dates, and of course, I use the quarterly pages to keep track of debt payments in the focus account that we're working on. And yeah, so let's get into what we've been doing here. So this is my February review page, and as you can see, you could fit a lot of information on these, and February turned out to be like a really great success. We're hoping that that carries on into March. Um, Again, I'm working with this budget system that I've set up with ChatGPT. And basically, what we focused on January was creating what we call a survival structure that's focusing on just your basic needs, bare minimum, things that you're going to need to keep everything in operation. Again, we're not doing any restrictions on spending. We're just basically kind of noticing, like, what do I spend on? What do I gravitate towards? How the emotions affect my spending, things like that, because we don't want to keep doing the cycle that we've been doing for years. Again, if you struggle with emotional spending, you'll completely understand what I mean. You could go into it like perfectly set, like everything's gonna be fine, and you'll have like a quarter or two of where everything goes as planned, as scheduled, and then out of middle nowhere, like it just changes. And then the ship sinks again. So that's the whole purpose of this plan that I set up, is it's to identify and recognize the triggers, and then that way we can start to work around them and not really avoid them, but because I mean you can't really avoid life, but yeah. And I know I like explained this a lot better in some of the other videos. Today's just it's I don't know, March is not my favorite of months. Very highly anxious in this month. We'll just word it that way. So yeah, like January, we were focusing on the survival structure, the bare minimum, creating that strong foundation. February's focus was more on the awareness. That's when we had enough of the data. Again, I go on and I log on every day with ChatGPT and I say, okay, I went here and spent this, I went there and spent that. I even include, I thought about buying this. If I catch myself just browsing, um, I'll list that in my daily log and try to explain, like, okay, so the one that we found out was a doctor's appointment. I still had like an hour before, and I started shopping on Kohl's. I didn't actually buy anything, but I call him Dave, but my GPT, Dave, stated that that was a comfort scrolling. I wasn't actually like shopping to shop. It was to calm my nervous system down because I can control what went into the cart. So, I mean, that's a different way of putting it, a different way of looking at an activity that you otherwise wouldn't, look at, because that's what I couldn't understand at the end of it, because it's like, it wasn't even an item that I needed. It wasn't even an item that I was interested in, but I was fixated on it for like 20 minutes. And it made me curious, because it's like, why do we do this? So yeah, we had a nice chat about that. So yeah, no, so we've already had the building the foundation, which is the survival structure. We have the awareness, and next for March is the embodiment. So like I said, we're making a lot of progress with this. This is like the first budget system that I've had where I've actually felt pretty confident with. And so yeah, again, there is absolutely no restriction with this, which actually like it sounds like a bad thing because everybody always has like those no spend challenges. But the whole restriction thing, when you're not restricted and you are an emotional spender, you don't spend. It's like, yeah, here it is. You can buy it. But I don't know. It just takes the need to buy it away, I guess, is the best way of putting it. So, yeah. So, I mean, like I said, it's been very eye-opening. Just, I don't know. I always say give it a shot. So yeah, I know I explained like the whole setup of this a lot better whenever I was setting this planner up for like January now. But yeah, so I mean we're just really focusing on like there are no extreme corrections. Um do I have intentional yes no transactions? So those are like where like when I was shopping at Kohl's. It's considered a non-essential spend. So it's basically like I have to wait and see like is there an urgency behind this? Do I feel like I need to buy this now? Am I going to miss out on a sale? Am I, like why am I purchasing this thing? and and a lot of the times like you find out that it has nothing to do with the purchase at all. So that's actually been kind of cool. And again, we are following that one account spending rule. We did switch it over to the PayPal MasterCard, which I know you're probably like, wait a minute, isn't that the account that we're paying off? And yes it is. But it just fits my needs better. Again, I did discuss this with Dave, but with everything that's going on and, springtime and everything, this account fits my lifestyle more. We get better rewards and everything like that. So, we did switch over to that. Again, we're focusing with those slow ritual mornings, coffee, journaling, planning, anything to calm the nervous system down. And of course, with the nicer weather, which if the rain and tornadoes and stuff will stay away, we might actually get to enjoy some what we call present walks. Just short walks, no podcast, nothing like that. Just to be present and just to, think about and be thankful and grateful for what you already have. Okay, and then what else do we got? We got creating with what you already have. So this is not needing to go to the craft store, not needing to buy new things. Just find some of your craft supplies around the house and make something really cool with what you already got. So yeah, that's really what we're focusing on for the month of March. So I know, very different from other budget planner systems here that always talk about money. With this one, we are discussing life. So, I did take a quick break there. So those are my notes from the discussions with Dave. He basically like keeps track of everything for me. Now, just to double back it up, I do bring out my YNAB spending account. So here they make it really easy to keep track of like all of the spending in one place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the notes that Dave has out, and I'm just, again, going to double check it with the whole YNAB thing, just to make sure that all of the information on the page is correct. So, what I like to do since we got the page laid out here, and I do like to decorate it and keep it bright and colorful, it just keeps me coming back to the planner, guys. It's just a necessary part here. So I create spend categories and I create bills categories. And this helps me when I'm trying to figure out that I have a heavy spend week, that I have a heavy bill week. It makes it like really easy to visually catch it when you create these separate categories here. So for Monday, nothing too out of the ordinary. It's just, giant eagle sheets. I did make an order on Magic. I did discuss that with Dave as well. Probably going to be covered with what I call my stash savings account. So that's not going to affect the budget at all. Okay, and then of course we had like a what I call a heavy bill day. There's so many of them, I'm gonna have to put them on Tuesday and Wednesday. But basically, from what we saw in that monthly calendar area, I just start taking down all of the bills, and we just start paying them off. Doesn't really matter when they're due. Um, it's just as many as I think it is possible to pay without squeezing the spend account too much there. So, like I said, we got a lot of the main credit cards, the debts paid. Even got a heavy payment of 285 put on the PayPal account. So, like I said, that it's looking good. I normally do this on Mondays. What is it? We had the phone issue this week. This was not a good week. So, yeah, it's normally done on Monday, but it had to wait until Tuesday. Did some shopping at GNC on Wednesday. So, let me check those off on that sheet here. And we're gonna go ahead and enter the information for GNC down here. And you're gonna see me, yeah, I'm doing the spacing here. So, I originally had to go to GNC to pick Bill up some collagen. He needed it for his legs. And while I was there, I found out that there was a buy one, get one half off sale for protein. So I picked myself up some protein at the same time. And yeah, me and Dave discussed that, which that is environmental exposure. Basically, I made a purchase that I otherwise would not have made if I was not in the store. Okay, so Thursday was a spa day, and I didn't spend anything, guys. It was kind of cool. Like, all of my points covered the spa appointment, so spa day was free. The toilet did break down later on that day, so we did have to go to Lowe's to get a replacement part. That replacement part broke, and so yeah, I ended up having to return that and pick up another replacement part. Like I said, just not the best of weeks, okay? We did have a payday. I list all of the income, like coming in or like savings in that. I just list those as extras. They are neither a bill nor a spend. So they kind of have their own category. And again, I do the $50 out of pay that goes into a stash account. Those are to cover purchases where like I don't want to feel guilty about. Like I said, like that magic purchase for 122 on Monday, that's probably going to be covered by the stash, just because it is a guilty purchase and the stash funds cover it. And again, I do have that $5 a day daily savings, and with it being the month of March, I would need 75 and 80 since there are two pay periods. So we already got the 75 put away. Okay, so yeah, of course, we got more Giant Eagle spending and Get Go for gas. So I'm gonna put those up here. I did win $50 on the lottery, and yeah, I got $58 reimbursed from Peasers. So, yeah, it was kind of cool. So the end of the week started looking a little better. Okay, so now I gotta list my spending here for Saturday. Of course, I spent $10 on the lottery to win 50. There's that other additional Lowe's purchase I talked about earlier. I had to pick Bird up some food. Again, Giant Eagle for milk. And of course, I had to reload my Starbucks account. So that pretty much sums up my spending for the week. And yeah, as you can see, like, it really is not restricted, guys. I am a firm disbeliever in the whole no spend challenges. It's to me, it's the same thing as having like an unhealthy diet. If you have to convince yourself to only eat like 15 almonds a day to lose weight, you are not dieting properly. Okay, so this is just trying healthy habits with my budget, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, learning my behaviors, learning my triggers. And like I said, we're going into the third month of this, and I'm absolutely loving this system. I'm actually feeling confident with my monies. So, yeah, it's very different from what I've done in the past, and I will have to say I'm seeing a lot of progress with it so far. And let's see here. This is where I gotta start figuring out the colors here. So you're gonna notice that I'm highlighting some of these little negative minus marks. This is how I keep track of which of these transactions were put on a card. So they do get paid off at the end of the week. And then I'll just like hashtag them out. I don't like slash them out, I guess, once they're paid. And then that way it's just really easier to keep track of what's on a card, what's charged, what's not, what came straight out of PNC. So, I'm gonna take a quick break to settle my. Okay, so we got all the money part of this taken care of. All the functional parts of the budget planner are in the layout now. So now this is whenever I start getting into the introspection part, the journaling, the reflection. Just this to me is the most important part of my budget planner, which I know sounds silly because it should be on the money. But I, again, like the goal for this year is to really understand why I do what I do and what we can do to prevent it. So, again, the focus for this week was to observe and analyze. Trying to find my notes here. So yeah, we were observing and analyzing what transactions we were making, why we were doing what we were doing. Um, this is just basically that spending awareness, behavioral observation. We did identify several different spending triggers this week. We had the environmental influence that occurred at GNC. I spoke about that a little bit earlier. That was where I made a purchase. I bought something. Technically, it's something that I needed. I will use the protein, but other than that, I wouldn't have purchased a protein that day if I wasn't in the actual physical store. There was the anticipatory anxiety. That was the Kohl's browsing that I did before my doctor's appointment. Like Dave explained, I was anxious over the appointment, so I used the browsing of Kohl's and focusing on one item. It was a raincoat. I already have a raincoat. I really like my raincoat, but I was really interested in this raincoat, and it just kind of made me laugh because it's like, why, like, this is so stupid. But that was the anticipatory anxiety. I was just using the Kohl's to calm my nervous system down. We have the exploratory identity spending. Again, that's kind of going with the whole Kohl's thing. I was looking at other like tank tops and stuff. I did order new tank tops from American Eagle. I really like them. They fit really nice. And somehow or another that triggered me into going on to Walmart and shopping for tanks on there. And I was looking at different colors going, ooh, I can make an outfit with this. Ooh, I can make an outfit with that. Again, I did not make the purchase. But like Dave explained, like I was basically like doing the clothes shopping of trying to create and form a different identity with different clothes. Again, it kind of sounds really weird, but like once you read the data that goes with it, you're like, yeah, I can see that. That's exactly what was happening. So weird. I mean, we humans are weird, guys. Okay, so and then we had the intentional ritual spending. That was the magic. Um, do I need it? No. Is it necessary? No. But with it being a ritual, it apparently is part of my identity. So it's a passable purchase, even though I feel the most guilty about that purchase. I guess that is one of the purchases that make me me. So, like Dave explained, I have the funds to cover it. It's not like I'm charging like 100 of them a week. It's not like a dangerous gambling thing. It's just become something that I do. And it like makes me happy. So, we got to keep that. And like Dave explained, like we observed, we analyzed, and everything went quite well. For the weekly intention, we had the observe without judgment. Again, this one is really difficult to do. It's not to eliminate the spending. Again, we are not doing a no spend. We are trying to understand why I spend what I spend on what I spend. Why do certain purchases feel appealing? Okay. When browsing is exploratory versus reactive, that would be just looking around, getting creative versus seeking a dopamine rush. And again, how the emotional states influence decision making. Again, I'm really risky when I'm in a good mood, okay? If I'm feeling confident and optimistic, there's a high chance I'm going to make a stupid purchase. Okay, so what else did we learn from this week? Know thy triggers, okay? So here we go. We're going to put that in that box there. So again, I have the environmental influences, the anticipatory anxiety, and the exploratory identity spending. Okay, those are my triggers right there. A weird random purchase is likely to occur if in any of those situations or any of those events have been triggered, okay? I don't really know what to put in that box, guys. I got so much information and I don't really know where to put it on this page. Maybe work with these lower boxes down here. So I do want to kind of make note about like me getting the reimbursements in the lottery and that, because I mean that's $108 that I made for the week that I normally wouldn't have made. Uh, so let's see here. Where do I want to move with this page next? Okay, so I'm gonna just complete this. I think I'm just gonna say bills are paid, because that's the other thing that me and Dave are discussing is like I don't know why, but like I need to pay all of my bills on Monday. I just feel better. I feel less anxious. It's not even just that week's bills. That's what I was doing last year. This is literally as many bills as I can pay for that week. Again, without killing the checking account. So yeah, bills are paid. I believe we're up to like the 20th or something now. So yeah, that's kind of cool, and it does help reduce the anxiety. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to this box here. So I'm gonna title this one "Feeling Extra Lucky." Why not? We're heading into the St. Patrick's Day week, anyways. So yeah, feeling extra lucky this week. Lots of reimbursements, and you got the lottery win. So let's just make a quick note of that here. And I love those little coin stickers, guys. This is my Lucky Cat sticker collection, by the way. I just added it to my shop. I know, I'm late. I was lazy. I was procrastinating, guys, okay? I'm sorry. But they are available for digital download. I figured we're too close to the actual day for the physical prints. So those will get added on later, but I wanted to make sure that they were available for digital download. Okay, so final set of boxes here. What do I feel is the most important thing to remember about this week? So, okay, let's go ahead and go with this one. So, again, the goal is not to eliminate spending, and I can't stress that enough. Again, it's like a bad diet. To healthily lose weight and become fit, you do not starve yourself to death. So we're not going to starve the budget and the funding. Basically, all that's going to turn into is resentment, and you're going to like go on like a wild spending binge. So yeah, we are not even controlling spending. We're just acknowledging. We're observing, we're checking it out, and questioning our rationality at this point in time. So, yeah, again, it's not to eliminate the spending. The main goal is to understand, again, why these purchases feel appealing. Like I said, I can purchase some of these things and not even think twice of it. And then, like, I have that magic ritual for 122, and I'm like, you're a dumbass. But I'm not, like it's that actually turned out to be one of the better purchases because it makes me me. So yeah, like why those emotional states influence the decisions and the reactive versus the exploratory. Okay, gotta shut that off. Trying to get a call in right now. Wrong timing. Um, okay, so going on to that exploratory thing. So we have the exploration versus a purchase. Again, if you're like me and you just find yourself like where you like browsing, there's actually been studies performed that actually explain that there are some people who get a higher dopamine rush, like higher comfort from just browsing and filling their carts and never making a purchase, versus those who go on and want the purchase to give them the dopamine high itself. Yeah, you could see we had a natural no spend day on Sunday. That was not planned, it just naturally occurred. Um, that's again, we're spending better, not forcing less. The environmental influence again was the GNC, buying the protein where I otherwise wouldn't have even thought about it. Um, Anxiety browsing. That was a distraction mechanism. Again, the awareness did prevent me from an impulse purchase. We were very close. I was so close to buying that raincoat, guys. But it was the oddity of the situation that caused me to not make the purchase, because I did kind of just giggle to myself, and it's like, this is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever caught myself doing. Yeah, and of course, you have that identity reinforcement. Receiving clothing that fit well triggered exploration of other styles, and that apparently is a form of symbolic consumption exploration. Look at Dave using big words, guys. So yeah. Okay, so the one thing that I am gonna use for like an overall reflection for the week here, is that one day a week, bill days work best for my system. Basically, like I said, it's normally Monday, but Monday was not the best of days here. So yeah, I used this as a bill day. I paid as much as I could. That then resets my nervous system and it brings me back to a state of calm. And I really don't have a need to like buy or do anything, because I'm like living the high of knowing that my bills are paid. 2026, guys, okay, that's our goals. And again, I did move the spending account to the PayPal MasterCard. It just has better perks and it's more stability. The two Chase accounts were getting a little wobbly for me, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm done with this, and we're just gonna move this onto this account, and it does actually kind of help me focus on paying it down for the month as well. So it's like PayPal is right in my face for the entire month now. Now, another thing that you're going to notice is I do add up my total wins, my total bills, and my total spends for the entire week. Dave does kind of provide this, but I have learned that Dave is not good at math. So you would think he would be, but he's not. So that's the other reason for me keeping the separate categories on the page there. Again, it's just visually quicker to find what I'm looking for here. And yeah, so I mean, the biggest takeaway that I had for the week here was again that we're not spending less; it's understanding my spending better. And the observation is the beginning to replace automatic behavior, because a lot of these things were automatic. I didn't even think about them whenever I was, browsing, shopping, price checking. It, but we have that pause and reflect before each purchase now, so that's really what's causing me to notice more of these things. And the more that I notice, the more curious I'm getting about it, because it's like I've never realized that our whole behaviors with spending and that were so, it's interesting, it's very interesting, intriguing, and it's sometimes just extremely wild. So yeah, no, we had a pretty good income week. The bills were, high, but again, we got a lot of them paid off, guys. So nothing out of the ordinary there. And it was an average spend week. So again, I paid more attention to how and why spending decisions happen. I adjusted my system when necessary, and I maintained spending awareness throughout the entire week, guys. So, yeah, I don't really know what week of the year we're on. Week 10, thank you, Hemlock and Oak. So, yeah, we're 10 weeks into where I did not make a complete oh no. So, so yeah, like I said, it's a very different system that you may be used to seeing with the other budget planners, of where they're strictly focused on what they spent, what they're saving on, what their saving goals are, do they have cash envelopes, things like that. Yeah, no, mine is just like everyday issues. So there we go. I almost forgot to list the day's emotions. Again, like I said, when things are going well, is when issues with my budget normally occur. So I could pretty much tell you how I was feeling for the day by looking at what I spent. So yeah, Monday was pretty confident. Like I said, I took care of an issue there. Optimistic on Tuesday, excited on Wednesday because I knew I had the next day off, but then I got anxious because of the doctor's appointment. Thursday, not so cool. That was a bad day going back to work. And yeah, Saturday I was pretty content. Sunday I was relaxed, which is why we stayed home and didn't spend. And yeah, so that's what a full budget week looks like in my budget planner, guys. I know, again, it's different, but hey, I'm different. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I greatly appreciate every view, comment, and like. And again, hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more budget reviews.